Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 New Dawn run. Hope you're all doing well. I had a different video planned for today, but the update has just launched. So we're going to be taking a look at the New Dawn update now that it has been released from the beta. Since the unlocks were reset, going from the beta to the full version of the game, I had to re-unlock everything here, but I haven't unlocked this one, which requires us to win a run without locking any items in the shop. That used to require you not to use the Gangster. During the beta, you couldn't use the Gangster to get that unlock, but now you're allowed to, so we're going to do that now. I haven't done a Gangster run in a while, so it just felt like a fun run, and we get to unlock one of the new items, so seems great. The Gangster is a really powerful but very dangerous character. You can steal items for free every shop, and your items cost more, and you're also unable to lock items, which is great because then I don't have to remember not to lock items in order to avoid breaking that unlock. But when you steal a free item, you have a chance to spawn an elite based on the cost of the item, and all of your future elites get stronger the more you kill. So if you roll early elites, later ones get really powerful. Since this character wants to focus tons of damage on elites, all we care about is high single target damage to be able to kill elites if we happen to roll one early. The weapon that I like to use for the Gangster is the revolver. It's the second highest single target DPS weapon in the game after the laser gun, but unlike the laser gun, it shoots fast enough to also allow us to clear the other enemies relatively easily. So revolver with the Gangster is very powerful. Since this is a gun, and guns often can be mixed and matched with other weapons just fine within the same weapon tag, we'll also add in probably submachine guns, maybe shotguns, if we happen to roll into those in the shop as well. I'm going to take 5 harvesting here. Harvesting is a little bit worse because for the Gangster, because your items are more expensive, so the harvesting is relatively speaking lower value, but still worth grabbing in the first shop. I'm going to buy a revolver, and then we will roll and try to steal a revolver. The question is, do I want to ban either of these items? I think that Claw Tree is definitely worth banning, so I'm going to get rid of that. Baby Gecko, if I was certain I was going to roll into another revolver immediately, I could buy the Baby Gecko, and then we could roll and steal another revolver. Since I'm not going to worry about the Baby Gecko, but I will leave it in the pool. Alright, well, we rolled into a submachine gun, so I'm just going to go ahead and steal that. That's another good weapon for us, so we're pretty happy there. And then we're not going to reroll, but I will ban both charcoal and dynamite and get rid of these items from the pool. Not the best first shop, because with the increased item prices, we ended up only getting 3 weapons in the first shop despite stealing one, but we have a lot of leftover materials for next shop, so we should still be able to get to 5 or 6 weapons without too much difficulty. Submachine gun does suffer a little bit in Abyssal Terrors, because the Mantis Shrimp have damage reduction, and the flat damage reduction hurts your submachine guns. Here I'm just going to take a ranged damage. You really need tons of damage as early as possible when you are playing the Gangster, because if you happen to roll the 1% chance of rolling an early elite, you need to kill it immediately. Here I'm going to steal the Broken Mouth. This is more expensive than most level 1 items, so being able to steal that right away gives us good value. And then we're going to buy the submachine gun, and we noticed that that costs 31. I'm also going to ban the glasses here and get those out of the pool. We noticed that that costs 31, so if I re-roll here and roll into a submachine gun or a revolver, which has the same price, we'll be able to buy it. So very important to keep that in mind. Since you can't lock items when you're playing this character, you need to know how much things cost and know whether you're going to be able to buy an item after re-rolling to decide whether you're going to re-roll or not. Here, I'm going to ban Baby Elephant. This character just wants to do damage with its weapons, so we're just getting rid of that. And we've already banned 5 items, which is kind of nice. Early on, it does mean that our future shops will be better. So I would like to get a little more harvesting. I will also just take flat ranged damage when we see it, because it does proof against rolling an early elite. Trying to pick up some materials here. Definitely not being able to take that baby gecko earlier does hurt, because you can see we're already leaving a lot of materials on the ground. I'm going to re-roll here, and we'll take 5 harvesting, and then here, I'm going to roll again. I could take 5 luck, but I feel like we can do better. Yeah, I'll take 5 harvesting even over the 6 speed. Just important to boost my harvesting. Sharp Bullet is a great find. This is perfect for both of the weapons we're using, neither of which has inherent piercing. So I could steal it. I could also potentially steal something else. I could steal this Shredder, but I don't really want Shredder. It's just not a very good weapon for us. So I think we're going to steal the Sharp Bullet. We're a ranged build, so we're going to ban the Cute Monkey. And then I'm going to buy the coupon. Technically, if I buy the coupon before the Sharp Bullet, I can't remember actually. I believe that the chance of spawning an elite is based on the current item price, not the base item price. So I think we actually do decrease the chance of spawning an elite if I buy the coupon first. So if I was worried about that, I could have changed the order. Here, I'm going to reroll once, because 42 should be enough to get us something good. And unfortunately, we missed on a weapon. I have to make the choice of whether I want Ugly Tooth or Helmet, or to re-roll again to look for another gun. And obviously, we are sad that we can't buy Gentle Alien here, because that would be awesome. I think that because this character is worried about facing Elite, Ugly Tooth is good enough for the Gangster that we're going to go ahead and buy that. Gangster has a lot of micro decisions like that, which I really like. You need to figure out... I'm actually going to let the Gobbler eat a bunch of materials and grow, because when it grows, it multiplies the value of the materials that it ate, and our damage should be high enough to kill the Gobbler before the end of the wave without too many difficulties here. So I'm hoping it hits its next level, but it didn't, and I had to kill it so that I could at least pick up some of the materials that dropped. But you can see we got more materials than average. We're going to go ahead and ban Toxic Sludge. We're never building elemental damage, and I could buy 8% damage here. I do definitely want more percent damage because it's very low. So I think I'll just take that, and we'll take 15 luck. You want higher level items to show up in the shop, so luck is very important, because when you steal an item, it doesn't matter what price it is, other than for the chance of an elite spawning. So the higher the level the items are that show up in the shop, the better for the Gangster, because your steals become more valuable, so luck is really important. I'll take the submachine gun. I think I'm going to buy all of these items, the helmet and baby gecko, because I think we can find something that costs more than 30 to steal. Although, do I just want to buy one of these and steal the other? Probably. We'll go ahead and buy injection and steal lens, and we're not going to reroll because we can't lock any items. So I definitely need more damage. We're still not at the point where we can quickly kill an elite. I would also like to pick up some lifesteal, since that's going to be the way we're going to heal with a submachine gun revolver build. I would prefer to have more revolvers and fewer SMGs at this point, because SMG is not as good for single target damage as revolver is, and that's what we need for when we happen to roll into an elite. And as the chance of rolling an elite increases each wave, as well as when you get more expensive items, we really need to be able to kill an elite as soon as it shows up, because the way that you lose on this character, of course, is having an elite show up when you're not ready for it and just dying. I'm going to ban out Goat Skull. I guess there's a theoretical world where we buy Gummy Berserker or Defective Steroids, neither of which I want right now, but there's no world where we buy Goat Skull, so I guess I'll ban that. Reroll here. Peaceful Bee we're going to pass on. We'll reroll again. I will say we've gotten pretty unlucky in terms of our shops. We have not found very good items. I'll steal the scope. It does reduce my attack speed, but ranged damage really important, and it's a fairly pricey item, so it's more valuable than most of the items that we would be stealing here. And then this is an interesting spot. I'm too short of buying both the submachine gun and the coffee. I'm going to buy the coffee. Leveling our weapon is really important, but we'll have more chances to do that, and attack speed is so critical when our goal is going to be to kill elites really quickly. Even though with guns you can mix and match items and weapons a little bit more than you can with other weapon sets, so we're happy to take most of the good guns. I don't usually like having more than 2. If like a level 3 laser gun showed up, I would probably take it because it's still good against elites, but usually you want to try to stick to 2 types of guns because otherwise it can become awkward to level your weapons. We'll take Clockwork Wasp here, and then I'm going to reroll, and I do want lifesteal, I also want movement speed, I also want range damage and armor, so if I could just take this whole shop, I would. I think I'm going to take the lifesteal. It's a level 2 upgrade. We currently have no healing, so I definitely want to fix that. We'll take the injection, and we'll reroll here. Reinforced steel is 2 more ranged damage. It does have a 10% chance of an elite spawning, but I'm going to steal it because it's fairly expensive. And then we'll roll again, and we'll buy a hedgehog. We're still not finding more weapons. I'm going to take the alien worm here because my max HP is really poor at the moment, and I do want to improve that as well. I would love to get to 50 or so maximum health in the next couple waves, which means we're probably going to have to spend our level 10 level up on 9 HP, because when an elite spawns, it will often do 20 or so damage a hit, and so you want to be able to survive 2 hits from an elite without dying. I will say the fact that it took us a little bit of extra time to kill that loot alien is not encouraging. Our damage is a little bit lower. This has been an awkward gangster run where we're running a little cold on the shops and haven't been able to steal a really powerful item. And we also didn't get an early elite to give us, you know, a really nice level 4 item or something like that. So we're a little bit behind. I'll take the bat here. It does hurt my harvesting, but lifesteal's really important. And then, okay, nice. We got a lucky plus 9 HP, so that's great. I could take 3 armor here. I could also, or I could take 15 luck. I could also roll for range damage, attack speed. I think I do want damage, so I'm going to roll and take the ranged damage. Starfish is super, super dangerous for this character because increasing enemy damage, increasing the damage that elites do is incredibly dangerous, but I think I'm still going to steal it. It's 154 materials worth of a steal, so we can steal it. We didn't spawn an elite, so now we know we don't get one this wave, which is a lot of materials to get for free, and our economy was a little bit behind, so fixing that is really important. I talked about how I am happy to take a level 2 laser, or a level 3 laser gun here, though maybe I'm supposed to take the revolver instead, just because I like the revolvers a little bit more. And I can't buy both, sadly. I think I'm gonna take the laser gun, though. We'll combine a submachine gun and buy the laser gun, because that will give us enough damage that we can quickly kill an elite if one spawns. Also, I just got plus 3 ranged damage, which works very well with laser gun, because it has the improved ranged damage scaling, and so there's some advantages to doing it that way. Definitely need to upgrade my weapons, though. We have not gotten a great opportunity to do that. And at least getting everything to level 2 matters a lot for this weapon set. One thing that's nice about having a bunch of SMGs is that we can use lifesteal effectively. Revolvers and laser guns have a problem using lifesteal because they kill everything that they shoot at, and then there's no enemy to lifesteal off of. We've also gotten so many injections. I'm obviously going to keep taking them, but it has reduced our max HP. Here, I could take 5 crit chance. Pretty good for our weapons. They all... or I guess, not the submachine gun, but the other weapons all have 2x crit damage. But I think I'm going to roll past that and look for more important stats. Max HP is pretty important here, so we're going to take that. We'll buy the coupon. We will buy Scar and Feather. Ranged damage, of course, being very good. I'm considering stealing the alien baby. Increasing enemy health is bad, of course, but our max HP is very, very low, and it would get me a free reroll. I think the fact that it has a 30% chance of spawning an elite, which would then have more health, though, is a good reason not to do that. Take the cake here. We've got to buy Terrified Onion because our move speed is bad. Chameleon, even though it's expensive, is not an item I really want to steal. Ball and Chain, I definitely don't want to steal. So I guess we don't really get a good steal this wave, unfortunately. I was hoping to roll into something good. I could forego buying the bag. If we didn't buy bag, I would get another reroll, I think 2 rerolls, to be able to potentially find a powerful item to steal. But I think we're just going to buy the bag. And then we're not building crit chance, so I guess I'll steal Rip and Tear. It's not amazing for us, but the little bit of extra damage could be relevant sometimes. Obviously, buying melee damage is not high on the agenda, and it does make any crit chance that we potentially buy worse, but we couldn't take Ball and Chain because it more or less turns off all of our submachine guns. And Scared Sausage doesn't really do anything, so it wasn't really a consideration there either. Rip and Tear is nice to have for this wave, because this is... Wave 9 on the Abyss has a lot of enemies. Not as many as Wave 9 on Crash Zone, but you still do get value from AoE damage here. Really nice to get a loot alien kill, that's great. Yeah, we'll take a bat. And you can see that our income is still really good because the starfish is helping us out in that sense. Takes more attack speed here, and then I'm going to reroll this and take 9 max HP. Now we're at 50. Getting to 50 before we have to fight an elite is really good. I'm going to buy the Clockwork Wasp, I think, because I feel like we'll be able to steal an item worth more than 100. And we actually have 3 different weapons, so we're going to buy the jelly as well. Here, I could steal the SMG. We are less likely to find an item worth more than 100 now because I have fewer rerolls. But I think we're just going to buy the SMG. We'll buy Head Injury and Propeller Hat. I could buy the Tentacle and then take a free reroll and hope that we find something good to steal there. But we don't use crit chance because I have bought the Rip and Tear, so that reduced the value of Tentacle. So we're just going to roll past it. Turns out we weren't able to steal anything here, or we weren't able to steal anything more expensive here, but I am going to steal this SMG, so I will combine my revolvers to level 2. Hopefully we get more revolvers or laser guns, because we do prefer those to the submachine guns, but I'd rather just have all my weapons be at least level 2. 60 materials, so we would be left with 62, so we could potentially buy something pretty cheap. I think it's not worth the risk of re-rolling there, though. Re-rolling and finding nothing is pretty punishing on the Gangster, so you're going to re-roll less than other characters will. This is a character that I'm torn on in general, because I find it fun to play, but Gangster, I think, is the only character in the game that you can't win deterministically with good play. Because if you happen to roll a really early elite, there are some elites in the early game that are very hard to survive before you have items or defensive stats. Obviously, you could simply dodge perfectly. That's an option available to every player, but I think that the chance that you just lose a run to a random chance on the Gangster is higher than for every other character, where I think basically every other character in Brotato you can win 100% of the time once you're an experienced player. Yeah, we'll definitely take the lifesteal there, and then we'll take 3 more ranged damage. So I don't love that there's a character in the game that exists that has a chance of just randomly swatting you. I'll take the butterfly. Small fish is great, and I will also take the blunderbuss. This is a good weapon for fighting elites with, which of course is what this character wants, because it has effectively infinite attack speed. Ice Cube doesn't do anything. We didn't take the Scared Sausage from earlier. I still wouldn't be that excited even if I had taken that. Here, though, do I want to cap my movement speed at 5? 8 regen is reasonably valuable. I wouldn't mind getting an elite. With 11% lifesteal, I think we're reasonably, and we'll buy the whetstone as well. I think we're actually reasonably well set up to fight an elite. So I think I will steal the shackles. All right, we didn't roll into an elite. We've gotten, I guess, lucky and unlucky in that we haven't rolled any elites, which has made the run safer, but also less exciting. And less powerful, because we don't have the red items. I'm going to buy the book here. It only costs us 13 materials to get this free reroll, which makes it more likely that we find other powerful items. So, and it means that our next reroll is cheaper if we didn't find another item that we wanted. Since we found this blunderbuss, I'm just going to buy it. I just want to increase my damage as much as possible, so we're going to buy a level 3 weapon like that. Well, level 2 that combines into level 3. Capping my move speed at 5 is definitely low, but the regen is relevant. The range is actually relevant on this character. 80 range does matter because range does make it a little easier to fight elite. And because we're using ranged weapons, we get the full value of that. And the engineering could be relevant depending on what items we got. We did pass a pocket factory earlier, but if we found one now, maybe we would take it. You have to be a little pickier on what items you take on this character, of course, because you can't lock items, so your overall item quality is going to be worse, because you're going to have fewer options to control what items you're buying, and items are more expensive. So the way that you control what items you're buying is by simply not buying items that are marginal. I'll take the feather here, and then 2 more ranged damage. That's perfect. I still don't think we want Penguin, even though we do have some regeneration now. We're going to pass on that. We're also not going to steal an item this wave, because I really don't want 2 elites to spawn. We do not have the capacity to fight 2 elites at once right now. We will buy the submachine gun, I'll buy the baby gecko, I'll buy treasure map, and then I'll roll. And I guess I'll just take a scope. The lowering my attack speed is bad, but increasing my range damage still really important. Do I want the mushroom for 69 materials? Nice. It's pretty expensive. But regeneration has actually, since we've got some already, it can be a real component of our healing. I think I'll take the mushroom here. Excuse me. So we should have the damage to kill this elite very easily and relatively safely. Trying to focus on picking up the materials to reset my blunderbuss, and you'll see that the blunderbuss helps us kill it a lot faster as well. That would have been faster still if we had a more revolver-oriented weapon set. As is, we've got all of these submachine guns, which aren't as good at killing the elite, but because I've managed to build a lot of damage, we killed it pretty quickly. Gnome, sadly, we're going to recycle, and this is another area where the gangster is somewhat random, where if your first couple red items aren't good, it makes a huge difference in the power level of your character. Not obviously an insurmountable difference, but if we'd gotten a really strong item here, then we would suddenly be cruising. As is, since we got a basically useless item, we just have to recycle it. I guess the melee damage is okay for our rip and tear, but not particularly relevant. Tyler, I'm just going to recycle as well. We want to do all our damage with our weapon attacks. Here I'll take 8% damage, because my percent damage is pretty low, and then we'll buy submachine gun and small fish. I'll buy the jerky. I think we can do better than 134 for stealing an item. And we got the poisonous tonic, which is perfect. That's an item that we can definitely steal. So let's steal that. We did roll an elite. You get that little symbol. So now we know that we're fighting an elite next wave. I'm going to roll here, and I'll take 2 more ranged damage. I will need to fix my movement speed, but we're fighting an elite, so I want as much damage as possible. Ghost outfit wouldn't be good for us anyways, so it's not that sad that we can't buy it, but honey would be pretty good, so sad we can't buy that. I think I'll reroll once for 25 here, and yeah, we'll take the Broken Mouth. That's nice getting our HP up a little higher before we fight an elite this wave. So I need to kill a few other enemies as well so that we have materials on the ground to reset our blunderbuss. That's how we DPS this thing. And we've got enough lifesteal and regeneration that even when I walk into an attack like that, we're still okay. I should definitely check the damage on the blunderbuss relative to our other weapons as well. It's typically very good at fighting elites, but it's possible that it's underperforming here. Other weapons that are really good on the Gangster that are a little worse on other characters, like Obliterator is a really good weapon for this character because all you really need is damage against elites, and Obliterator is really good for that. Oh, okay, well, so here's an example of a weapon or of an item that drops from a red crate that spikes the characters immensely. We got Heavy Bullets, which gives us 5 range damage and 10% damage, so just an incredible boost to our power level. Take the move speed, that fixes our move speed, and then we'll roll here, and I could take lifesteal, I could fix my crit chance. I feel like we can do better than either of those, and yeah, we'll take some attack speed. Nothing here that I want, so let's re-roll past all of it. Nothing here that we want, so we're re-rolling past all that as well. Take the mutation, and we'll roll again. I could buy the wheelbarrow, but honestly, I don't think we need it. I also have 50% damage, so I don't think we need the missile. We'll buy Baby Gecko, I'll buy Scope, and I'm gonna roll again. I'm really hoping I find something worth stealing. And we did. We found a level 4 submachine gun, so we're just going to go ahead and steal that. 65% chance. We didn't roll an elite. Somewhat surprising, but that's okay. I definitely need to fix my armor. 1 armor is pretty unplayable in Abyssal Terrors. So we're going to roll. When we hit level 20, we're going to roll until we get to add +3 armor, and we're also going to heavily prioritize armor items. You can see there why having such low armor is bad, and why Starfish is dangerous. We just almost got, like, we lost half our health to that one Cursed Walrus. Pretty clean wave again. So Black Flag is interesting here. We don't need it. The only thing we really need in order to win this run is armor. I'm going to take it anyways, but it does make the run more dangerous. We've now increased enemy damage by 25%, which is a lot. And I'm going to take armor there to try to offset that. So I do need to be really careful now that we've done that, because we could put ourselves in a position to just die in a couple hits. I'm going to take the revolver here. Sadly, my weapon set is a little awkward, so I can't easily combine something to get 2 revolvers, but we were able to just upgrade our existing revolver. Clockwork Wasp, I've got plenty of move speed. We don't really need Sunken Bell. Defective Steroids, I think 65 HP is fine. And then here again, I have to buy the leveled up revolver. We're also, again, not going to steal, because I want to... Oh, that reroll was a mistake. There was no way I was going to be able to buy something relevant there, so I just threw away however many materials that was for no reason. I could steal, like, a Scar and say that a 10% chance of an elite showing up is worth getting the Scar, but I think we're on track to win, so no need to risk it. Alright, this elite I always take damage against on that initial attack. I'm so bad at dodging that one. For no reason at all. but we were able to kill it. Glad I didn't let a second elite spawn, though, because that elite is really hard to fight when there's 2 elites on the field. It's easier than I made it look, just by walking into its attacks there when it's alone. But because of its attack pattern requiring you to stand in pretty specific spots to avoid it, that elite is one of the worst to roll alongside another elite. So hopefully we get a good red item here. That would be very helpful to us. We got a laser turret. I'm just going to recycle that. Okay, extra stomach. We'll take it. It's a little bit late, but that will just get us a ton of extra HP. Here, I think I still just need to roll for armor. The ranged damage and percent damage are both tempting, but this character just so badly needs armor that it's kind of the only relevant stat to us, so we're going to pick that up. Had to briefly cut the video there to save headphone users from the powerful dad sneeze. But we're very happy to see this helmet. The cursed helmet is an awesome find. Do I want the diploma? We currently have 14% XP gain, so this would probably get us to level 25 if I got the diploma. I can also guarantee, or almost guarantee, other than a natural one, we guarantee an elite next wave, which is pretty nice. So while the engineering isn't relevant, I think I will take the diploma, because I actually do want to fight an elite. We're strong enough to fight 1. We just don't want to fight 2 at a time. I'll take the bait as well. Percent damage is really good. Baby squid and scarf we're going to pass on, and then let's do a couple more rerolls here. A second bait. We've got decent damage output, so I'm tempted by the second bait. I think we can fight it. We can fight an elite and 2 baits worth of lampreys. And then unfortunately we missed a bunch on other items here. I was hoping for like a level 2 SMG, but that's okay. Alright. So when you've got 2 baits like this, you should just back off to the side of the map. Gives you a little more space, because they don't spawn around the player, they spawn near, just randomly around the map, just scattered. Centered around where you start, but not around where you are when the wave actually starts. And then we're going to roll around this elite. I completely forgot to check the damage on my blunderbuss, but we'll try to remember to do that this wave. Alright, took a bunch of hits there, so I'm going to back off and lifesteal. And again, I have to be much more careful because I've increased enemy damage significantly in this run. So I've made things a little bit spookier. But we were able to clear the elite, and then gonna get some curse alien kills as well. And there we go. Okay, so Hourglass is really interesting. I actually do not know how this works with the Gangster. I had a guaranteed elite spawn in this wave. Will I get another elite spawn? That would be really dangerous if it works that way, but let's find out. We're definitely taking the Hourglass. We'll take the Lumberjack shirt as well. I'll take 10% more attack speed. My attack speed remains terrible. We shouldn't have a guaranteed elite spawn this wave because we're actually going to wave 16, not wave 17, so the highlighting here is incorrect. We'll buy the feather. I don't have any weapons I can combine to buy the revolver here, so I won't bother. Let's roll. I do want more movement speed. I'll take the Wandering Bot. We'll steal the Cursed Wandering Bot. Okay, so we've got 1 elite for sure. We might have 2 elites this wave, depending on how the game calculates that working. I'm going to recycle this SMG and buy the revolver. We'll take a lure. And then I think I can take Pocket Factory and Turret as well. We have 25 engineering, so these actually do decent damage. Oh, the silver bullet would have been amazing if I could find that. Obviously, rerolling there doesn't cost us anything because it's a free reroll, except for the psychic damage of seeing silver bullet and not being able to buy it. Okay, so we have... Alright, so we did, in fact, get 2 elites this wave. So if you've rolled into an elite, and then you're playing the Gangster and you use Hourglass, you're going to get a second elite and the bait wave. So that's some interesting science to have done. Unfortunately, it does mean that I walked into the enemies and died there because we started at 1 HP and had bait and elites as well. So that's really funny. So that's actually hilarious that works that way. All right, well, sometimes you do science, it doesn't work out, and we're just jumping back into the run. Been a long time since I've lost a just vanilla run in Brotato with no challenge mode or anything. Here, I'm going to roll and roll again. I'm looking for harvesting, of course, but we missed. I could take 5 luck. I guess I'll take 5 luck, and then we'll be able to steal more expensive items. We'll buy the revolver here, and I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna ban out insanity, because... Oh, no, we don't have SMGs in this run, so no need to ban out the insanity. I'm not going to ban Weird Ghost either, but I guess I'm going to roll, and then we're going to steal this revolver. And pencil, I'm going to ban. Fresh meat, we'll leave in the pool. I could have bought that Ghost Scepter, actually. There's a chance we could have gotten a couple points of HP from it, but I think it's not really worth diluting our weapon pool and making ethereal weapons show up to have that potential bit of HP. Bad omen to start my first game on the full version of the new update with a loss, but, you know, we didn't know the mechanics, so really good to know how that works now. I'm going to roll here. I could take the crit chance, but I really want to get some harvesting going, and then we will buy a revolver here. I'm going to steal the fresh meat, because that's worth 38, so that's better than most things, and then I can buy the lemonade, because I won't be able to re-roll and buy a revolver. We don't have enough money, so I think I will just buy the lemonade because it's just a good item. We did get 4 revolvers this time, so we're going to be a little better at killing elites than in the previous run. And now we know to be careful with the new items. It is kind of cool that the Gangster can double up elites if you have, or probably triple up elites if it was already an elite wave. So actually, if it's already an elite wave, yeah, you would get 3 elites. If it was like a natural elite wave, and then you rolled into an elite by stealing, and then you got an hourglass and went back to that wave, it would have 2 elite spawns triggered, and then you would... trigger a 3rd elite spawn by stealing again. So you could have up to 3 elites in one wave if it was naturally an elite wave. That's kind of cool. Here I'll just take 6 movement speed. We will need the movement speed, and then we'll take 5 harvesting. And I'm going to steal the propeller hat. That's more expensive than most items that we would be stealing at this point in the game, so we're just going to go ahead and steal a propeller hat. We will ban dynamite. Never want to buy that. Alien Worm, I think I will buy. I do need more max HP, and we already have some improved consumable heal, so it's okay. I really need weapons here, though, so I'm actually going to pass on the small fish and lost duck, though I will leave them both in the pool. And I'm going to roll a couple times and see if I can find something good. Unfortunately, I missed, but I'll take a tree. Tree is good enough that it's worth picking up. So we're stuck on only 4 guns at this point, because we just haven't rolled into good weapons. That should be okay for now, but we will definitely need to fix that sooner than later. Every time my revolvers stop shooting, I just walk into enemies and take a bunch of damage. Getting that tree kill. I was hoping to get one of the curse aliens there, but I kind of messed up my movement. I'll take 10 attack speed here. We definitely want more attack speed. And then I could buy any of these. I don't think with only 4 guns we're set up to... Well, we'll ban the cute monkey because it reduces our range damage. I think, unfortunately, with only 4 guns, we're not set up to take the bait here. So I will buy another alien worm. It does hurt to reduce my consumable heal, but it's an efficient way to increase my max HP. Then we're going to reroll. We're going to buy the coupon, buy the laser gun, and I guess steal the whistle, because I do want the whistle. It's not the most efficient steal, but I'm still pretty happy to take it. Still only on 5 guns on wave 5, though. There we go, got a cursed enemy kill. Curse is really good on the Gangster as well, because being able to steal a curse item increases the value of your steals. Just the better your items are available in the shop, the more this character's unique mechanic is actually impactful. So luck and curse are both really good stats for us, because they make the thing that we're doing better. Here I'm going to reroll, and then I could take 5 harvesting, but I think it's time I need to start buying just ranged damage. Take lifesteal here as well, and I will. We'll ban the book here, because we are not going to buy engineering, and I'm going to ban alien eyes as well, just get an item that we don't really want out of the pool, in part because it's going to give me a free reroll when I buy these other 2 items. And do I want the goblet? I guess so. I'll steal goblet. This is a good way to heal, and it's a very expensive item, so we can steal it for a pretty good value. We'll ban toxic sludge and then reroll, and I would have liked the acid as well. Our max HP is really bad, but let's just take the scar here and then go to the next wave. Icicle is another good weapon for the Gangster, if you can roll into it, because it's not a starting weapon. At least I don't think so. Although it would make sense, because isn't that like a... You know, how to get away with a crime is if you use an icicle as the murder weapon and then it melts, there's no evidence. We'll take the tree here and then roll again, and then I'll take 10 luck. That's perfect. I think I'm still going to pass on the Pocket Factory. We have no engineering, and my damage output is pretty low because we've just found very poor weapons. So I think we're going to pass on Pocket Factory here. Peacock, I could die if this rolls into an elite, because the 50% extra damage is pretty dangerous, but I think I still want to steal the Peacock. It's just really good stats, so we definitely want it. We'll take the Hedgehog. Eye Patch I'm going to pass on. It doesn't do enough at this point, and I really just need to roll into better items. One of those better items is Dangerous Bunny, which is great for this character, because you want to reroll until you can steal good stuff, and Gentle Alien, of course, is great stats. Oh sure, here's our weapon on the shop where I can't buy anything. I need to stop using those free rerolls, because it just hurts your mental. But it is, of course, good to build the habit, because for other characters, it's free and valuable. So you can see here, we're having a little bit of trouble clearing the enemies just because we haven't found as much damage as we did last time. We haven't found very good weapons. Honestly, we're a little behind in both of these runs. I think we've had fairly poor shops. Here, I'm going to take 10 more luck. That will make it a lot easier to find good items. And then this is great. We get our upgraded stats. Now, I have only 2 ranged damage, no percent damage, only 1 armor, but I think I need to roll for flat ranged damage. Attack speed would also be really nice, but without flat ranged damage, it just doesn't do anything. Then we're going to take more luck here. We will buy a fresh meat, pistol. Even though I'm kind of desperate for weapons, we're still going to pass on pistol. It's just too bad. And then we'll take revolver. Scar and small fish, I can buy both of and still have enough to reroll, right? That would be 99. So no, I can't. So I will buy the Scar here, and then I'm going to re-roll because I want to steal something, and I'd like to steal something more expensive than a small fish. And we did manage to. We got to steal a leather vest, which I think I would prefer over the fruit basket. I can't get over how we lost that run. That's like one of the funniest deaths I've ever had in this game. So I would like to get some pickup radius or a baby gecko or something. But first I just need some more clear speed. We really just need attack speed. I passed on attack speed in the last level up screen, but the ranged damage was more important last level up screen. So we just need a little more of that and a little more attack speed, and then we'll be in okay shape. Yeah, we'll take the injection here. Baby elephant, I guess I'll just take it. When it shows up in a box for free like this, it's fine. Whetstone is really good healing, so we're very happy to take that. And then, I guess 15 more luck. We keep getting extra luck, which is not terrible at all. Let's ban out Cog. We definitely never want that. And Energy Bracelet, we're going to ban as well, because that lets me buy this whole shop. So I'm going to level my laser gun, because I'd rather have 4 revolvers and 2 lasers, if possible. And then do I want to steal the pearl or buy the pearl? I think 133 is higher than the average price of items we're going to buy, so I'm going to steal it. And we'll buy metal plate. And do I want sad tomato or duct tape? I think we'll just take the duct tape. Sad tomato is nice healing, but this character really just wants more armor. Going up to 6 armor is really good. Now if I just get some max HP, our defensive stats will actually be really solid. And then we have actually enough to be able to buy this revolver. So that last shop was amazing for us. Other than our max health, which I do need to fix. And again, level 15 we'll be spending some, we'll be rolling for 9 max HP. We're in great shape, I think. Because I just got a lot stronger in the last shop. I do need attack speed as well. That's the other stat we really need. Especially because in our last run we had piercing shots. In this run we don't. And we also don't have submachine guns. So we're struggling a little to deal with lots of enemies, like on this wave. Since I'm having to kill them one at a time with no AoE damage and low attack speed, and the fact that revolvers have to stop shooting pretty frequently, so we're struggling to clear this wave full of enemies. Also, the slashers absorbed a lot of damage there. I'll take the cauldron, that's great. Ritual, also great. We're very happy with those. We have 6 dodge. I could start building dodge, but I think I just need max HP before I even think about that, and then I'll take 8% damage here. I would prefer ranged damage, but percent damage is the higher level upgrade, so we'll just take that. Bean Teacher, I'm gonna steal, I think. We have a lot of XP gain already, but still pretty good. And then we're gonna roll here. Shredder is just so bad at single target damage that we're gonna pass on it, but I'll take Spicy Sauce because we're desperate for HP, so we just have to spend on HP whenever we see it. Then I want the Laser Gun and Cyclops Worm more than I want Baby Gecko, but we can afford all 3, so that's fine. Okay, so we're up to 34 HP. We'll get 9 more, because I'm going to re-roll for that on this level up screen, because we're about to hit level 15. And then we just need to find attack speed, and then I think we're in good shape. Passing on the level 4 dodge did feel bad, but this character just really needed HP. We were at sub 30 HP on wave 9. Again, having a little bit of trouble clearing the large group of enemies that we're facing here. because no piercing shots and no AoE damage. So maybe I will work a Shredder or something into this build, because we are struggling a little with clear speed. Yeah, we'll take the snail here. It can make it a little easier to kill the elite. And actually, I'm going to take attack speed. You saw last wave that attack speed was such a struggle for us. So I'm going to try taking some attack speed and fixing that. And then we'll take some move speed. Baby Gecko is worth buying. Even though we need AoE damage, Rip and Tear is still not where we want to be. Improved tools I will steal, though. This is attack speed, and we just need that. And then we're going to roll again. We'll take a Gentle Alien, because we need more HP. Not is actually somewhat tempting, because this character does really want % damage and max HP, but I think being able to upgrade our weapons is still more important. And then let's go ahead and combine. We'll buy a laser gun and a duct tape. I'll do one more reroll because I think we might be able to buy something good. Unfortunately, we missed, and we can't buy the black flag, which is sad. But now that I've gotten 25% more attack speed, this should be much, much smoother, because that was the stat we were really missing. And there's still time to get some max HP. Max HP is usually easier to come by than attack speed, so I needed to prioritize getting more attack speed there. This would actually be an easier run if we'd rolled an elite in one of the early-ish waves, because then we would have a level 4 item to be working off of. The fact that we haven't rolled any elites yet, despite stealing some, 40% chances or whatever, is actually holding us back pretty significantly. Ooh, any chance we kill this loot alien before the end of the wave? Nice, we got it. Alright, Ugly Tooth, yep, we'll take that. It helps us slow elites. And Seashell, awesome. This is a weapon that does very well with, or an item that does very well with our all projectile strategy. I'll take 10 more attack speed, and then one thing we do have going for us is really good luck. So I'll take 15 luck here. Now, we're not going to steal an item this wave, because we don't want a second elite to spawn. We don't want to repeat our last adventure here. But I will take this SMG. That's just a little more damage overall, and Barnacle's pretty good as well. The pistol will not meaningfully increase our damage if I buy it, so I'm going to pass on it. And I will do a reroll. Either of these two level 1 weapons would be really nice to find, if I were to find either a revolver or a laser gun at a low level. And there's also a bunch of level 1 items we could buy as well. I think here I'm going to buy the laser gun, and I'm going to sell the... I have to sell something. I'll just sell the level 1 laser gun. I think it's more useful to get the level 2 laser gun. And then do I feel like we need a 6% chance? Insanity would be good here. The crit chance is still good for our weapons. Do I want to accept a 6% chance of getting a second elite? It's not a complete death sentence if that happens. It is very dangerous, but I think I will take the insanity here. We'll just steal a very cheap item to minimize the chance of just dying to another elite, but also continue to progress our character. Trying to focus damage on it here. Took a couple hits there, but we can just back off, get a little bit of healing going, and then focus a little more damage once I've cleared some space to attack it. This is what you don't really want with the Gangster, though, is to be in a position where elites are taking a while to kill. Because this character is going to be behind usually on defensive stats, and you can see that we are here. Which means that you can easily get overwhelmed by the other enemies on the field if you're taking a long time to kill elite. However, our Seashell is doing phenomenal work. It just means that we're clearing everything else so much faster. Bowler Hat, yeah, I'll take it. Yes, it hurts to lose the damage stats here, but those are really good stats. And we do need more max HP, but I think I still have to recycle the defective steroids. Our attack speed is just too important. Medkit, sure, we'll take it. It's not amazing, but more regeneration is still good, and then 4 ranged damage and 20 attack speed. That is incredible, and that is why we're so happy that we have Barnacle and we're getting all of these extra stats. Coil, I could steal here. It would be plus 2% damage currently, but I think we can do better than that. And yeah, we'll definitely steal a silver bullet. We did get an elite roll, so we need to be aware that we've got that coming up, but we can buy a revolver here, and then, ooh, a cursed revolver. That's the type of thing we definitely want. So we're going to combine, get our level 4s, buy a cursed revolver. We'll buy Dangerous Bunny and Insanity, and then take a free reroll as well. I would love to be able to buy the weird food, but we can't, so let's just go to the next wave. Did I instantly forget that we had an elite coming this wave? Yes. And so I was a little surprised when it spawned. Also, other things I instantly forgot. I never checked the damage on the blunderbuss in any of the waves in the previous run, so apologies, blunderbuss fans. But there we go. We have defeated an elite. So I guess also one thing that that must be true when you get Hourglass on the Gangster is that the elite that you get the second time is actually stronger, because every time you kill an elite, elites and bosses get stronger for this character. So even though it's the same wave number, you're actually fighting a stronger elite the second time over. Yeah, so we have 115% XP gain, but I guess I'll take the Diploma still. The extra XP gain is a lot of stats, and losing 3 HP is bad, but we can compensate for that. My percent damage is really low, and this character really wants to be a glass cannon anyways, so we're going to take the item glass cannon. And then here, again, I'm not going to steal. Decomposing Flesh, normally I'd be pretty happy to buy this, but our max HP is terrible on this character, so I'm going to pass on the Decomposing Flesh. And we'll pass on all of these. We'll roll, we'll buy a revolver. Okay, well, I know I've said this before, but I do think that we can get away with buying the bait here, and we'll buy Insanity and Spicy Sauce, and then do a reroll. And I'm not going to buy the Weird Ghost. I guess that the Lumberjack shirt is the best here. I do really want to steal the Lemonade. 6% chance of an elite showing up, but since I bought bait, I think that having an elite show up is too dangerous. Also, I've boosted the damage of elites a lot, so we're just going to strictly not steal this wave. If I hadn't bought the bait, then 2 elites wouldn't be as spooky, and I probably would steal. Walked into that attack, but that's okay. I'm just going to try to focus some DPS on it. And yeah, our seashell shot came out just as it charged, so every shot from all my weapons just spiked into it and did 1,000,000 damage, which was pretty satisfying. And now we're at the point where the Gangster is actually starting to roll, because we've gotten a bunch of level 4 items, so we're a lot stronger thanks to those. And we've gotten relevant level 4 items as well. So as long as I don't just blow myself up with the Hourglass, we should be in okay shape. Take the fin here. Incendiary Turret, I'm going to pass on. We'll just recycle that. Get a free Pearl, which is great. I could reroll for a higher level up. We do have 77 luck, so lucky 7s. But I am just going to take 8 HP there, I think. And then, because my max HP is really bad. And then we'll take 12 dodge. When you have Barnacle, it's a lot easier to build dodge, because dodge usually comes from the level up screen anyways. So being able to improve the rate at which you buy dodge is really good. Here, I guess I will level my revolver because we have a cursed revolver, so I'd rather have the level 3 revolver. We'll buy the laser gun. We'll steal a stone skin. We do need max HP, and I want to steal an expensive item so that we have an elite show up, because I do want to fight an elite this wave. I'll take the Vigilante Ring, and we'll take the Acid, and then I'll re-roll here. Blunderbuss we could buy again so that I can, again, avoid ever checking the amount of damage it does. This shark won't leave me alone. We've fought it 3 times in a row. It's still really funny that the game remembers that you bought bait and that you triggered an elite to show up from the previous shop when you buy Hourglass. Obviously I died there, but I kind of love that because it's such a rude gotcha. And as I said at the time, I wasn't sure if that would happen or not, so. Or, I guess I wasn't sure if the second elite would show up. I didn't realize that the bait alien would show up. I didn't think about that. Here, I'm going to recycle Alien Baby. We just don't need the extra health at this point. But we will take the Spider. That's 18% attack speed, which is exactly what we want. I do really want armor, but not 1 armor. Let's take 13 more attack speed. You always want to try to buy at least a level 2 upgrade when you have Barnacle, because that's when it actually increases the amount of stats you're getting. Level 1 laser gun, I guess we can combine and buy a laser gun here, so let's do that. We'll buy coffee, bag. Do I want spyglass or bone dice? I think neither. I'm just going to pass on those. Fruit basket is not bad. I'm going to buy it rather than steal it, because I think we can still steal something more expensive. Though, in this case, that didn't happen. I'm just going to buy this laser gun and then steal the other laser gun so I can upgrade my weapons. So, no elite this wave, that's okay. Having the seashell also makes these laser guns a lot stronger because normally they struggle to clear lots of weak enemies since they attack so slowly. But with seashell, that's not a problem because you just get basically double attack speed on your laser guns because every 5th attack, they shoot extra projectiles. Also really nice for our lifesteal, which, given that we've ended up with a lot of laser guns, our lifesteal is actually not great on this character. We've only got like 12% lifesteal or something, and we don't attack that frequently, so our healing actually could use some work. Really nice to pick up all this curse, though. Yeah, we'll take the fresh meat. We're up to 15% lifesteal. That's great. Boxing glove, I'm going to recycle. We didn't buy that coil earlier, so no need for that. And then, yeah, my ranged damage is very low, so I'm going to take 5 ranged damage. That's perfect. We'll take the revolver here and the butterfly and then reroll. And, ooh, nice. I can actually go all the way up to a level 3 revolver here. Do I want to steal this revolver? Probably not. I'm also going to pass on the charcoal, because I think we can steal something better, and in fact, we did steal something much better in the form of that silver bullet. I could buy plant. We have enough lifesteal, and some regen wouldn't hurt, but I think spending 63 on that is just too expensive, so let's go fight the elite. Now that I have some higher level weapons and some cursed weapons, no problem there. Game didn't make the sound effect for picking up a crate, though. That was weird. Like, I stepped on the crate, and it didn't go doing. Having Sif's Relic is always great. Just watching the money roll in. Even getting it this late, Grind's Magical Leaf is really nice. This is going to be just wave 18-19, but 6 HP, 2 regen, 2 lifesteal. We're very happy to spend 90 on that. And then Riposte, we're going to recycle. We'll take 2 more ranged damage. We don't get the Barnacle multiplier on that, but ranged damage is what I need, and then I'll take some more lifesteal here. I will definitely take Broken Mouth and Gentle Alien. We are now strong enough that I can steal this wave, because I don't think that fighting 2 elites is a problem. Although, I could Hourglass again. If I Hourglass again, I don't want to steal, because then we'll be at 1 HP. I didn't buy a bait, right? It would be so funny if I just lost the same way twice. Let's do it. I'm going to buy the Hourglass, though, rather than stealing it, because fighting 2 elites when I'm at 1 HP feels pretty dangerous, so we're going to avoid stealing this wave. Ooh, the minigun is very tempting as well, but we're going to avoid dying here. And then we're going to go to wave 17, so I know that I'm guaranteed to fight that elite specifically, because we used our Hourglass. I had to back off and heal just a little bit there. And yeah, I'm very happy that I didn't steal, even though the minigun would be awesome for this character. Fighting 2 elites while at 1 HP to start with. And this character's healing is not great, because we do have the problem where we're just killing enemies too quickly to get good lifesteal off of them. And even though I have high luck, I've reduced my consumable healing, so we're not healing quickly. So, was important to make the decision the way we did there. Although, I would have laughed really hard if I died exactly the same way twice. Retrimation's Hoodie, yeah, we definitely want more attack speed, so we're going to take that. We only have 15 dodge, but it's still good. Terrified Onion, I've got 20 move speed, I don't need more. I'm going to recycle the Knot. Even though this is good stats for us, we still want to recycle it. And then here I'm going to reroll, and we'll take 20 more attack speed. Whetstone, I'm going to buy, and again, so this wave I could steal, because I don't mind fighting 2 elite when we're not starting the wave at 1 HP. It was just because of that I really wanted to do that. So I'm going to steal this cape, because that's very powerful for us. Lots of healing, dodge, which gives us attack speed, because we have Retrimation's Hoodie, and so on. Wisdom, I'm going to pass on. We want to kill elites faster than that, but I will take the Lantern, because that will just give us more damage, and it offsets the range loss as well. Do I want a Cursed Medical Gun? Kind of interesting here. It does 108 damage a hit, which is still a lot lower than most of my other weapons, but not that much lower than my revolver. I think because it's cursed, I actually, yeah, and it has 18% chance to crit for 2.3. It's got good range and everything. So yeah, I think I will combine for a cursed revolver and buy the cursed medical gun. And then we're going to go into this wave, and I need to remember that there are 2 elites this wave, so I have to be pretty careful with my early movement. We got a dodge there, which helps. Otherwise, I would have been at low health, which still wouldn't have been an issue because we killed the elites really fast, but the dodge made it, there was much less tension there. And now we're going to get 2 red items. So I guess if you're playing the Gangster and you keep finding Hourglass, you could theoretically stack infinite elites in one wave. As long as you keep finding Hourglass. And once you've gotten a bunch of elites stacked into a wave, you're gonna keep finding Hourglass every wave because it's a red item and the elites will drop it. So that's probably an interesting endless strategy where you try to stack tons of elites in one wave over and over and over again. I'll take the Kraken's Eye. We do need more max HP. You can't be the king of Brotato with no crown, and we'll take the Adrenaline, of course. I want more dodge because that gives us more attack speed and also more defensive stats. I'll take the Grind's Magical Leaf. This is actually even better because we did get that Hourglass, so the Grind's Magical Leaf was good last wave. Here it's only 3, 1, and 1, but 3, 1, and 1 is still good. Then I'm going to roll. I'm really hoping for some armor, so I'm going to roll a bunch to try to find some armor. I missed many times, so I guess I'll just take 10% damage. 10% crit chance on the pile of books. Pretty good, actually. So let's buy this, and I'll steal the wings, because I do, again, want an elite to spawn. We can take bait as well, and then I'll roll. Do I think I can deal with 2 baits and an elite this wave? Yeah, I think. No problem. So we'll take another bait. We'll do a free reroll. Sadly, I can't buy laser gun or jetpack, so we're going to go into this next wave. So I'm going to back off, kill all the lampreys using my long-range weapons, and then we'll fight the elite. And then, look, that time, I didn't even die to its initial attack. So I would love to improve my dodge. If we could get that to 60%, that would be great. Hit the dodge cap. I would also love to get more armor. I still only have 7 armor right now, and that is very low for the end of an Abyssal Terrors run. But the Gangster is always going to have weird gaps in its stats, because your stats come from red items, which just give you stuff that you can't really control very well. I think I'll recycle the fin. I don't need more movement speed. I don't really want to reduce my luck. We'll definitely take the ashes here. Obviously, the downside is meaningless because we are going to win the run next wave. But the attack speed and damage are good, and the range is also pretty good. We'll recycle Black Belt. We'll recycle Clockwork Wasp. And then 5 range damage there is perfect. I'm going to roll. I'm really looking for armor. Okay, yeah, nice. 2 armor. Even just 2 armor is a huge difference in our survivability here. I am going to steal just for fun. We're going to fight an extra elite. And I guess I'll sell out of this SMG and just steal a level 3 SMG. And then we'll take a hedgehog and duct tape I will buy as well. We have... Wait. Don't I have Stone Skin? Why did... Oh, yeah, no, I lost 2 HP from the duct taping and 1 back from Stone Skin. That's why I only gained... that's why I lost 1 HP. We'll buy the crystal here, and I'll roll again. And Hedgehog, of course, great. And we'll roll again. And then... Ooh, this is an interesting shop. So I could take 2 ranged damage from the Reinforced Steel, 5 lifesteal from the mouse, and more enemies is actually good for us, because we're going to lifesteal off of them. Or 4 regen and some extra consumable heal drops from the lure. I guess we'll take mouse and lure here. Just get a little more healing, and then we're going to go to wave 20. Alright, so I have an elite and both bosses. So, need to be a little careful of my movement here. We're going to try to focus the elite. Got it down. Then we've got Whalian down, and there goes Snailian. And then we have unlocked Trick or Treat. Win the run without locking any items in the shop. It took me a second try because of a truly hilarious circumstance. But we've unlocked the candy bag, and now I've unlocked everything from the New Dawn update. Alright, so let's look at our items here. That was a pretty fun run, honestly. It was a little bit touch and go in the mid-game because I had really bad early shop luck, and just wasn't finding weapons either, which was spooky, but we managed to overcome that. Let's look at our items here. So we got good healing off the goblet, not bad at all. Early Scar and Peacock meant that we hit level 31, which was great. Dangerous Bunny saved us 370, but way more than that because it makes all your rerolls cheaper each time you use it. And the pearls were okay. We ended up with 77 luck, but they were still not bad. Basically, I bought 1 pearl and got 14% damage off it because another pearl showed up for free. So pretty good value there. Barnacle affected 13 levels, so that was great. And then once we started racking in items like silver bullets and so on, that's when things get really powerful. The Hourglass was really funny as well. Just giving us another elite fight as well as reducing, of course, our HP to 1. And getting that 2 times in a row was great. Crown gave us only 10 harvesting, but obviously we didn't buy it for the stats. We bought it to for the meme. And then I never ended up with 40% dodge, but our defensive stats weren't great, but our offensive stats were so massively high that we were able to just win the game off of those very easily. All right, my friends, hope you enjoyed that run, or rather those runs. And if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.